today I pretty much have just been working on random things since I'm still waiting to paint the body of the Charger, and I'm trying out everything with the Tesla. I actually had to go up to Colorado Springs earlier to get the title for that truck that I got a couple days ago. So I'll have a video out for that truck coming up this week, as well as a bumper painting video coming up this week. So some videos are going to be coming up, which will be nice. And then once I figure out how I'm going to put Tesla up. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to have a company go get it or if I'm going to go get it. So I did message a guy. I pretty much keep all, so I've used a bunch of different shipping brokers, but each time somebody drops off a car, I save the person's number for what they towed. And then when I try to pick something else up, I pretty much just mass text all those numbers. And one guy said he'd pick it up for $1,300, but he has to see his schedule. So if he can't pick it up Tuesday, if he can't pick it up somewhere around Tuesday, most likely I will just, I don't want to drive to New Hampshire, but it's a long drive. So I might end up driving to New Hampshire. We'll see what happens and just kind of go from there. But yeah, that's going to be a long drive if I do end up doing it. If I don't, do some other stuff that I need to get done. But let's see. Let's see. Hello, what's going on? Make the van modern. So I do plan on updating some stuff on the van. Exactly how modern I'm going to make it. Probably just going to leave the front end that's on it. That's a weight front end, same front end that I just got on that truck that I just bought. So not exactly sure how much I want to update it. You know, I want to get the 6-liter deleted. I've been working on powder coating all the aluminum parts. It actually turned into quite a process because since that was a reman engine, they just like matte spray painted the whole engine. So it's just taken a little bit longer than I was expecting to strip all the parts, especially the intake manifold because it's so large. But I should be able to get the rest of that stuff powder coated this week, as long as I don't go to New Hampshire, and then just kind of get that thing driving. I need to get some turbos for the 6.4 or do a single turbo setup on the 6.4 because it has a blown. You guys will see in the video coming up. But let's see. How close are we getting to interior videos for the Charger? Probably a little ways away. So I was talking to Jose this week, and I've been really kind of Hellraiser. I think it was Hellraiser last week as well, and he gave me this website for software so you can program the body control modules on Dodge vehicles. But the issue I'm running into, and I haven't even really gotten to it because I haven't plugged anything in, is because the Trackhawk has everything to control the transfer case in the engine control module, and then it goes in the body control module inside the car. So I'm not sure. What I was talking to Jose about was, you know, he brought it up. He's like, why don't you just use all the wiring out of the Trackhawk, because it's still a four door, it's still it has a hatch. The Charger doesn't have a hatch, and it should have pretty much all the sensors. The displays inside are a little bit different. That's kind of what I was worried about for the gauge cluster and the center display. I think on the Trackhawk's a little bit larger, as well as the climate control buttons. But you know, I've been thinking about it since he said it, and I don't know. It might be what I'm going to end up doing, because then I don't have to really mess with a bunch of other stuff, but then I could come back to it, and I don't know, maybe the Charger display, the gauge cluster will plug into the Trackhawk harness. Same thing goes with the infotainment display. So I haven't got there, but I have been thinking about that quite a bit. So you know, once the car is painted together, I think the interior stuff will go pretty quick once we have it all wired and driving. The interior is going to be the last thing that I'm going to end up doing. I want to have it running and driving. I'm not too worried about what the interior looks like until I get to that point. So it'll be the last thing. Yo, Dave, is there a van in the future? So yes, I'm going to be doing some stuff with a van. So I'm also going to be doing something with an 800 horsepower ludicrous Tesla motor, but we'll see once that gets here. If you don't follow my Instagram, I bought a Tesla Model X P100, and I actually I bought the cheapest Model X probably in the world. Its book value, it says the actual cash value for it was $122,000, and I paid $550. So after shipping, it'll probably be like $2,000, but that's still not bad. So pretty excited about that. I can't wait to get it. Hopefully the motor's good. I mean, it's wrecked pretty substantially, so hopefully we get a good 800 horsepower motor, but we'll see. Paint. I mean, you have to take care of the paint if you want your car to look good. So it's unfortunate that's how it has to be when you paint a car. And I don't think a lot of YouTubers pretty much outsource painting their own cars, and Discovery Channel and all those shows don't show you all that process. But yeah, it's definitely a big undertaking, especially when you're one person, everything. So it does take a while, and I can't wait to be done with paint and body work and just be able to look at it. So it's coming up. So don't get too worried about it. Dave, have you been following Texas 2K? Not really. I don't really watch any of that stuff. I don't really pay attention to like any sports, any racing, anything like that. I just like doing stuff. So if I wouldn't watch it. I'd just go to Texas 2K, which I've been wanting to do for quite some time. I'm just always busy. I think last year, were we doing me and Trevor doing? Can't remember if that was last year or the year before, something like that. I think maybe we're in Texas, but yeah, it's 1 year I'll be able to go down there. So we'll see what happens. If you're close to Michigan, stop in Detroit. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, it'd be cool to go to Detroit, but I like my truck. I have full coverage on it though, so I mean, not saying I don't want anything to happen to my truck, but I'd be really sad if something happened to it. But yeah, I'm on the Detroit stolen page, and I just see all the shit that gets stolen all the time, so it just kind of worries me. But let's see, what's the plan for the interior of the wagon? So pretty much just going to use factory Hellcat interior. I'm going to do some stuff different stuff to the seats. Pretty much going to be mostly factory though. I'll probably end up upgrading stuff later on after it's all said and done. But for the time being, I want to, get it done, get it driving, be able to drive it, and then when I have some extra time, I'll be like, yeah, I want to fix this, I want to do this, in carbon fiber. So, so we're not just, doing this whole thing forever. So, howdy, just bought a Hyundai Sonata, great gas mileage. I guess I've never driven a Hyundai. Put a GT500 engine into the van. I mean, it has a 6-liter diesel. A GT500 would probably have more horsepower, but I don't know if it'd have more torque. I don't know how much torque tuned 6-liters have. I mean, I'd figure they'd have more than a GT500 though. Let's see. Hey Dave, what's the difficulty to make rear window louvers? Also excited to see your work on the flat bottom. I don't know. I think a lot of companies sell window louvers, so I wouldn't really go and try to make them. I really don't see the point behind it. I think they make them for the Mustangs, the Challengers and the Chargers. I think they pretty much make them for everything now. But I've never really I had some on my 240Z when I got it, and I took them off and threw them in the trash. So it's not something I'm into, but I think you could pretty much just get them. I think a lot of companies sell them now. So what's up, Dave? Keep up the great work. It's great seeing all the progress, but dang, it sure is taking forever. I know a lot of it was waiting forever for the wide body parts. So it's just waiting on parts and shipping and stuff like that. I waited, man, I think I waited six-ish months. I've been working on this thing for like 10 months. I'd have to go back and look at the videos, but I think I waited like 6-ish months to get all the wide body stuff and go pick it up. And then, then I, go working on the roof and stuff like that. So it'll speed up once it's just kind of bolting things in. I think that's what, I don't know. It's kind of crappy to say, but it's what a lot of larger YouTube channels, that's why they get big, because they just pretty much do simple stuff and bolt stuff in. And it makes sense because, painting the car I've only been painting the car, I think, for 2 months. I think even with the roof and everything, with making the roof, I think it's only been 2 months if you go look back at the first roof video. So in 2 months, I've painted every body panel for the car. I made a custom, roof, roof mold, all that stuff in 2 months. I mean, the turnaround time for, like aftermarket companies to produce hoods and stuff isn't even that fast. So pretty much all that's left is painting the body. I've already done the interior, as you guys saw in the video, spraying that undercoating or that sound deadening and heat barrier. So there's not much left to do other than paint the body. So it's coming. Why did you buy a burnt Jeep? It's totally not worth rebuilding. So the tranny, a core tranny is worth $2,000, but that tranny's good, so it's worth like $7 or $9,000 because it's an 8HP 95. The blocks are worth money, which the engine is good. After I pulled all that stuff off of there, the supercharger was burnt, but it was still good. The rotors inside of it are worth something. So I mean, all the rear suspension, all the front suspension that I got off of it, the big brakes that I rebuilt. I mean, I didn't pay really anything for it, and there's a ton of good parts on it. So it's just one of those things. I just was excited to get it, and the Tesla that I'm getting, I'm excited to get that because it's kind of the same thing. I mean, it's really wrecked, but it has a $12,000 electric motor that's most likely still good. And why I'm thinking it's still good is because the rear wheels and the whole rear section isn't destroyed. So, it's just one of those things. I mean, I could just go on eBay or go to a salvage yard and just be like, here's $12,000, or I could just pay, $550 and then another $1,300 shipping, and then not have to pay $12,000. So I mean, you tell me what's the better option. So let's see. What innovation do you want to see in automobiles? So I don't know, I think pretty much where we're at currently is as good of an emission standpoint that, we're never going to get a car to burn cleaner. But also on the other side of it, electric cars, 100% pure electric cars are not the answer. So, and this is my opinion. I could back this up with facts. I was a power generation engineer for Cummins. We did hybrid setups and all kinds of crap when I worked there. And if you want to have the best bang for your buck, it's pretty much half, either having a generator power an electric motor, or a generator charge the batteries and that electric motor pretty much power the car, because you could run the generator at constant speed. and at a low RPM to charge your batteries, or you can just have, half gas, have an electric motor on there, have it be able to regen, and then you could pretty much, have the best of both worlds. I mean, another side of that is fuel prices and gas, and the gas companies don't want cars to be super efficient. That's why we pretty much have gotten less gas mileage as we've been going on. So people say, well, we have electric cars now and they get this many miles and I don't have to use any gas, but you're still paying for electricity. But if you look at it, cars still get like 25 to 30 miles a gallon. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, my Hellcat on the highway, 25 to 30 miles a gallon, 700 horsepower. But, and then you could get like a Sonata or something, 25 to 30 miles a gallon. It doesn't matter. I mean, but back in like the 90s, you could get like a Civic, like the single cam Civics, like 50 to 55. So what happened? So it's not an emissions thing. It's not the EPA wanting us to benefit the environment and the environment to be super clean. It's I don't know why I'm getting into this, but somebody asked a question. But it's just, they want money, and the car companies pay them money and they get credits for all the emission stuff. So it's just like this big cycle of who has the most money and who wants to, pay the EPA off, and the fuel companies or the oil companies want to pay the EPA off and stuff. So it's not about the environment. It's just a joke. But I think gas prices should just be, what they were before, like 3 months ago. It was great. I mean, diesel was like $2.20. Now it's like $3.50. And gas was, I think, like the same, like $2.20 or something for 91. So I don't know. I really think it's just a cycle. I mean, we'll just continue this cycle on forever. And the one thing is, people say, we're going to run out of fossil fuels, we're going to run out of oil, we're going to run out of natural gas, coal. It's going to be a long time, a very, very long time. I mean, it's going to be hundreds of years. So I don't know. That's my thought behind it, but I guess we'll see as time goes on. I mean, you can't tell the future. Is it done yet? I wish. Call FCA and show them the Hell Wagon. So, this is all fuzzy. Okay, so the issue with that is they don't care. I 100% am 100% guarantee that they do not care. But just one person being like, "Hey, Dodge, look at this," they're not gonna take notice of it. So it almost have to be. I feel like it almost have to be like 100,000 people being like, "Hey, Dodge, check this out." And I think that will happen once the car is done, because I mean, it's going to look good. I mean, a lot of people are going to be pumped about it, but I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm not too worried about it. If nothing happens, I mean, I'll still drive it around. I think it's cool, and that's all that really matters to me. I mean, I built it so I could drive it and have fun with it, and the rest is just kind of a bonus. So, hey, Dave, sorry to have you go backwards, but I'm loving this build. I have a Dodge Magnum, trying to swap a 4th gen Hemi into it. I have both engine harnesses. What do I do? Will the newer harness work? So pretty much you just, I don't know, there might be a way around it, but I just swapped in everything and everything just plugs in. So I don't know. I don't know what might work, if you can get it to work with your old dash wiring and stuff like that. I'm sure you could if you want to go about wiring all that stuff, but I'd rather have all that new technology and dash and stuff in the car. So depending on what you have with your swap, I mean, I'd pretty much just swap all the new stuff in if you can. What's wrong with the Tesla Model X? It's pretty much cut in half. So one thing that I'm happy about is I don't have to dispose of the batteries. I wish I had the batteries, but I don't know. They're kind of bulky. So yeah, there'll be a video on it. Will you drive the Hellcat Magnum On the street. Yeah, I plan on pretty much driving it. I'll probably end up driving it a little bit more than my Challenger Hellcat. I drove my Challenger today, and then it started snowing in Springs, but I mean, that wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, just all the people driving around. So I'll probably, probably do the same thing. I'm not too worried about it. I built it to drive. I didn't build it to sit around. So yeah, I do want to have some fun with it once it's built. So I will be most likely driving across the country. Are you going to buy a new Ram? Probably not. Your channel's like crack. Can't stop watching it. Keep up the great work. Thanks, I appreciate that. Nope, no Magnum louvers. No Magnum louvers, huh? I don't know how that would look on a Magnum. How would you be able to see out of them, because they'd be facing like down. The Ford trucks have horrible crash test ratings. If you crash it, the frame will be damaged. I think if you crash, I've looked at the auctions. I mean, it seems like any truck, anything, if you wreck it, it's going to get destroyed. It just depends on what you hit. So I think they all have to pretty much go with the same crash test ratings. They have to pass, they have to pass all that stuff. So I mean, I feel like they're all, the only thing I don't like about Dodges is they just like continue to look the same. They just upgrade like these little things here and there, but it's like the same truck that they had in 2002. So I don't know. Have you ever traveled to Puerto Rico? I almost went to a distillery in Puerto Rico because we had a gas-powered turbine generator there, but we actually ended up fixing it without going. I did go to Cancun. I went to Mexico City and all around Mexico, but I've never been to Puerto Rico. I mean, might be cool. I know there's a lot of Volkswagen guys in Puerto Rico, because my friend that I'm wiring the ECU up on his Synchro, he talks to like all these dudes down there. So let's see, what kind of engine can I swap into an all-wheel drive Magnum RT? Asking for a friend. I mean, I feel like you should be able to slap in. I mean, I don't think the all-wheel drive system is really, I don't think it really would matter. So I feel like you could use is the transfer case on the same side? See, I'm not sure. I've never had an all-wheel drive Magnum, but if the transfer case is on the same side, you should be able to swap in the 6.4. I think they came in the police cars. I think police cars had 6.4s. You could swap those in and then supercharge them, and I think the trannies hold it decently. But yeah, I wouldn't use that older tranny. I think that's like the 1 year older than the newer like police 5-speed transmission. So before they went to the 8-speed automatic transmission. So I'm not sure. I've never done it. I mean, I probably could do it, but let's see. Glad to see you later. See you, Tony. Late to the game, so please excuse. Will you be selling any of the parts designed for the Magnum? Depends which parts. I mean, I might end up making some of the subframes. I'll have a jig for it, so I could possibly just slap, if somebody wanted an all-wheel drive subframe, I could pretty much just put one together and then just kind of go from there. And the same thing goes with the cross member, and they could just modify their own floor. Maybe the same thing to go with the rear subframe. If somebody want to do full Trackhawk conversion like I did, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. And how much interest there is in the all-wheel drive stuff, because those subframes could be used in Magnums, Chargers, Challengers, pretty much any of the cars, and you just have to pretty much modify the floor like I did. And if you don't mind the little bit of the floor that floor room that you're going to lose, that really you never put your feet there or anything there anyway. So I don't know. We'll see. Roof rack on the wagon, like SUV. Ooh, I do not like roof racks. It's not gonna happen. There's not gonna be a roof rack on there. No, no. I don't want a roof rack on there. Then I'd have to figure out how to mount it. And it's not just that. I just don't like how they look. Hi from Iraq. Keep going, waiting for the final result on your Magnum. Thanks, I appreciate that. What's your plan for making the interior, particularly the plastic components that would bridge the Magnum and Charger components? So how the Magnum rear trim kind of works is there's a headliner. I'm going to use a Magnum. I think I'm going to be able to use a Magnum headliner. If not, I'll just splice the back half of the Magnum headliner, the Charger headliner. But the back of the Magnum trim just overlaps that headliner, and the same thing on the side. So, and then the headliner just goes down. So there's not really anything that I really should have to worry about. The trim just kind of ends there. So I think I'll be okay. And I still have all the mounting locations, all the bolt holes and everything for the Magnum trim. So I don't think I'll have an issue there. But I do want to update it eventually. But I want to get the car done, so I won't be messing with all of that back interior trim right away. I'll probably end up, doing this or that with it, like I said before, and just kind of like I want to make it less bulky and give me a little bit more room in the trunk area. So just kind of go from there. So we'll see what happens. FD update video. I do need to do an FD update video. Actually, yesterday I pressure washed out the engine bay. I need to figure out what I'm going to do about paint. So I want to repaint the car, but I don't know if I want to do it right away. So I've been designing that intake manifold. I designed the exhaust manifold. I've been designing a bunch of crap for it. But, now that the intake manifold, I'm going to reprint the last updated piece. And if it fits, I'm going to throw engine back in the car with the tranny and all that stuff back in the car with the old intake manifold and all that stuff, and the new turbo manifold, the EFR. I'll put the Hellcat in it because I want to coil on plug. And then when I get the new intake manifold from the machine shop, I could just bolt it on the car instead of me having to wait a couple of months to start driving the car again, because I haven't driven the car in a very long time. And it's just because of this exhaust manifold and this intake manifold, and I still have to finish the titanium exhaust. So, and the engine has to be back in the car to do that. So yeah, I do need to make an update video on it. I do need to get it running and driving once again, put back together. I do miss the car. It's so much faster than the FC. I mean, I should be able to definitely make over 500 on this EFR turbo, because the old one I was running out of turbo on the engine, because it just was, that Garrett was just super inefficient for the higher horsepower and higher flow, and this EFR should be perfect for the application. So we'll see. It should be coming. As for audio, I highly recommend Digital Design. Never heard of it. Let's see. The GT500 is 700 horsepower, 600 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, I feel like the 6-liter is like 600 foot-pounds of torque. I think they're like 300 horsepower or something, like 600 or 700 foot-pounds. Maybe 6. I don't know. Look it up. I'd rather have a diesel towing stuff, because I know what gas engines, because there's just too much, diesels make torque at low RPM, and it's only like 4,000 RPM. I don't know, just gas V8s, they always do weird stuff and always have so many issues trying to tow stuff. Let's see. Thank you. People don't understand this. Let's see. Hey Dave, I found an interesting article on the internet that I'm pretty sure you will enjoy, and unfortunately I can't send the link in here. Just send me the link on my Instagram. What inspired you to do the Hellcat Wagon project? Just the last Magnum that I did. I just wanted a more updated version of it. Not car related, but do you have any different sources of income? I'm trying to learn about business and investing. Tired of wanting and not getting it. I don't know. I make money a lot of different ways. I don't know. I have a lot of money in the stock market. I just do this and that here and there. I don't know. I've always made good money. I was an engineer for Cummins for like 4 years, so that was a pretty good salary. And I've been working since I was 13. I don't know. But I do have quite a few different sources of income. They're all pretty, I don't know how to explain it. The stocks is pretty much I just trade stuff each week. I mean, you just go on low and sell high. I mean, it sounds easier than it is, but I have a few, quite a few dollars in stocks that I'm waiting to go back up. So, which they will, but sometimes you have to wait a year or two for them to do it, and you kind of get stuck with them. But never. The one thing is if the company is not going out of business and they're still making a good product, don't just sell because the stock drops. That's a little bit of a little tip. Don't sell it because it drops unless you think the company's going bankrupt or anything like that. If something like that's happening, you might as well get what you can. But otherwise, I would just, and sometimes even those companies, because there's a lot of news articles and there's like that Molly Fool that I don't like, because a lot of people listen to that. And then there's the Bloomberg, I think it's the Bloomberg guy. They'll say, I've seen multiple times throughout the years that they say this company's going bankrupt, they're filing bankruptcy, and they write these crappy articles, the stock price and shares just drop to the bottom, and then lo and behold, the stock goes back up to like 10 times what it was. I mean, there was one, I was stock, it was called, it was actually a natural gas company. So I had it before, so I bought it at 11, it went up to 70, I sold it. Then they wrote one of those articles that they're going to go bankrupt. It dropped down to $2 a share. And they're actually going through bankruptcy court. But, I was in the power generation field. I know how natural gas works. There isn't very many companies that produce natural gas, especially the big ones that provide natural gas to a huge market. But I knew they weren't going to go bankrupt. So, the first of the year hits, that $2, they relist the company, and that $2 turns into, I think it's like $55 a share now. I was thinking about buying it. I should have bought it, but that's just some things you have to look at. I don't really like talking about stock stuff because there's all kinds of crazy stuff you can get in trouble for talking about them, I guess. And I just really like not worrying about losing other people's money, but I don't know. I do pretty well with it. So let's see. If you give me an email, I can send it to you. I have an email in the description for my videos. Hellcat Magnum is really awesome. Thanks. Smash the like button. Best build on YouTube. Thanks, James. I appreciate that. What's the holdup now? Not really a holdup. I just kind of, I don't know. I painted the bumpers. What was that? Friday, I think. I think I painted them Friday. And I just really haven't been messing with it for the last 2 days. So back to work on Monday, but yeah, there's not a hold up. I just need to get the body painted now. So that hopefully will happen this week. We'll see. I said that last week, but then I wanted to get the bumpers painted. So now we have all the parts painted, the body's next, and then I could slap everything together and it looks super sweet. Let's see. Hey bud, better get her done soon before they pass law not letting you modify a street car. I mean, they could pass whatever law they want. I mean, if they pass a law that says you can't modify cars, people are still going to do it. I mean, look at California. You literally haven't been able to. People have cars that don't pass emissions, and they've been doing it for 20 years. I mean, California started that crap like 20 or 30 years ago, like whenever the first Fast and the Furious came out. So it's going to happen. I mean, there's nothing they can do about it. It's just ridiculous to even worry about that low percentage of people modifying cars compared to, and thinking it's having like this huge effect on anything, because it's not. I mean, the only effect it's having is all those people buying all these aftermarket parts and putting money into the economy. But you know, I mean, what are they going to do if all these companies don't produce parts and don't produce aftermarket parts for cars? Where's all that money going to go? I mean, people are just going to be like, well, I don't have to buy car parts. What am I going to buy now? Just tuning in. What's the plan with the Tesla? I have a few ideas with it, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. It was a good deal. I couldn't pass it up. You know me and deals. Same thing with that truck I bought. It was too good of a deal. Couldn't pass it up. And I was actually pretty excited because it runs and drives. They just had an issue. So police cars have the V6 and the 5.7. But I think you could swap the 6.4 in there and then just reflash the ECM. Hi from Ohio. What's going on? Some Hellcat police cars, also Florida troopers, have a couple. Yeah, I mean, they have stock police cars, stock Hellcat police cars that, you know, they'll do 200 miles an hour, but they also have all that extra weight, and they also have, like, I guess the panels on those cars. If you look on Dodge's website, I don't know if they still make them, but the fenders and the door skins and everything are like bulletproof. So I mean, that's probably a lot more weight. So you're taking like a car that was 5,000 pounds and making like 8,000 pounds. So yeah, I bet you the Florida Police Department is going to go through some breaks. It's going to be registered as a Charger. The body and VIN is Charger. Yep. Car community in Puerto Rico is cool. We have race everything tight. Hello, Dave. Hope you had a good weekend. Is that color Frostbite Blue a factory color for Dodge? You are the man. Yeah. So the paint is Frostbite Blue, and it's a factory Hellcat color. I think they also use it on the Dodge trucks and the Jeeps. So, but I really did like how it, you know, kind of has like this shift. I think it's pretty nice. It's subtle. It's not like it's not a tri-coat, but it still has that nice flop that gives you, you know, gives you a nice view of all the body lines in the sun. So look into gearhead fabrications before you make manifolds. I mean, if you're talking about the FD, I've already made a manifold, and mine's probably the best one out there. So I'm not being biased. Are you going to be watching the Freedom 500 with Cletus McFarland? No, not really. I have no reason to really watch any of that stuff. You know, it's just another, you know, just another thing. I don't have enough time to mess with that stuff or just dedicate time to watch some dudes do car stuff. I could just, you know, do my own car stuff, which is what I like to do. So Dave is the plug. What? Car people, write your senator to pass the RPM Act to protect our rights to modify streetcars. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Really don't know if they want to pass it, they'll pass it. I mean, there's no way around it. Thanks for the Q&A. You're awesome, by the way. Well, off to bed. See you, Christopher. Thanks. I appreciate that. New truck, the 6.4 or new truck you got at the auction to replace the 6.7. No, I'm talking about the 6.4. I have been looking for another truck at the auction, but I really haven't found anything that piques my interest. I mean, they're all just kind of, I don't know, the options that they're the ones that have been on the auction have just had like these meh options. So I really haven't had a reason to go buy one. So let's see. Hey Dave, I'm staring back at work on a Suzuki. So you may get a few silly questions. By the way, New Zealand just won the America's Cup yacht racing. It's been a big deal here, but no tourists allowed. Cheers. Oh, that's cool. Thanks. Eugene's Backyard Repair donated $5. Here's $5 towards elbow surgery from all that Wagon buffing when done. I really shouldn't have to buff it too much. I really don't want to. I say this now, but I'm probably going to wet sand the whole car, but I shouldn't have to really do much to it. There's a few things here and there, but I'm probably going to do like the Hellcat. I said that on the Hellcat too, and I was just like, here we go. But at least this one, I have 4 coats of clear, and it's thick. So, and it looks good. I really like how deep it looks because all that clear. Approximately how much longer before you will be on the road with the Charger? I'm not sure. Can you build me a spoiler for my Magnum, please? So Black Ops Auto Works has the wing. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I just shipped it out, and he got it. So I'm not sure what the lead time is. So if it's going to be a month or 2, but they will have them available. You know, once I get mine, they should be available to purchase, and I'll make a video when they're ready. So, and they'll be, you know, carbon fiber or FRP options. So you shouldn't have to really worry. You know, you can kind of decide which one you want to get. What's happening with the clear bra? So I'm not exactly sure. So I reached out to a few companies, and I pretty much wanted to drop the car off, have them do, you know, most of the time, anywhere, I guess, besides Colorado, it seems like when you get a car clear broad, they want to do a complete paint correction, and then they want to do the clear bra. What I heard from when I was talking to clear bra companies around here, and even a lot of reputable ones, that they're like, yeah, we don't do paint correction. If there's some scratches, they're like, the clear bra will fill in. And I was like, what? I was like, well, it's brand new paint, but you know, there's no scratches on it. But I just like, that was just like, I don't want to take my car to you guys now, because I don't know. It's just one of those things. I want to find, if I do clear bra, I might not end up clear bra. I might just ceramic coat it and call it a day. But and then, you know, they wanted 10 grand to clear bra the car and not paint correct it. So that was kind of strange, because I know the Porsche dealership said they do paint correction and they clear brought it for 10 grand. So maybe I could take it to the Porsche dealership and they could do my car. But I don't know. I just for 10 grand I could repaint the car a couple times because it's just time and materials. I mean, I probably have 2 grand in materials to paint the car, the whole car. So I don't know. It's one of those things. It's hard to decide because you could just paint the whole car if you know how to paint. So I don't know. Thanks for reading and replying. No problem. That's what the Q&As are for. You said Blackhawk? No, I said Black Ops Auto Works. Eugene, backyard repair, donate another $5. I appreciate that. Then if no buffing, here's 5 more towards that signed Hell Wagon pick. Tight. Yeah, I definitely, I'll definitely have some. And I need to do some merch. It's like I've been saying, it's coming up. I do have some, but I've never really had any interest in it. So I just have it sitting around. Where did you get the colored Kevlar carbon sheet that big? So I got it from a company, and they've kind of been irritating me. But it's called Composite Envisions. I don't know. They do all right, but the issue behind me not really liking their company is because I don't know. It's just one of those things where I've asked them, when I order products like so let's say the gel coat. So I talked to the guy that makes all the carbon fiber parts for Black Ops Auto Works, and I've been having this issue spraying the gel coat. Gel coat's usually very easy to spray. Well, I told him what mold release I use, and he's like, it's impossible to spray gel coat over that mold release because it's so hydrophobic. So, but I bought the mold release. I was on the phone. I bought the mold release and the gel coat and told them what I was going to do with the gel coat. And they could have said, hey, you can't spray gel coat on that mold release. And 3 gallons later, because the gallons of mold release or the gallons of gel coat are like $122 a gallon. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I worked at a place, I'd be like, yeah, you can't spray gel coat over that mold release. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it's just, and then ordering some stuff. It seems like they're always out of products, and I know I don't order very large quantities of stuff. I'm sure there's companies ordering like hundreds and 300 yards of spools of fabric, but it just seems like a lot of the time they're out of product that you need. So that's kind of another reason I've been waiting around for stuff when I was doing the roof. So let's see. Hello, Dave. Another Sunday down. By the way, the Hell Wagon looking good. Should be named Blue Magic. No, it's definitely going to continue to keep the Rampage as the name, but yeah, I can't. I think everybody thinks they can't wait to see the car back together. I can't wait to see the car back together. I mean, it's getting really tempting. I mean, I really want to put it together. Hey Dave, will your Z still planning the RB30 or different road now just to drive it so on? So the 240Z, I am still going to do the RB30, but I don't know, I might just leave it rear-wheel drive. I don't know if I'm going to go all-wheel drive with it. I did design everything to make it all-wheel drive. I'll probably end up still using the subframes that I designed because I can still use those subframes and all the updated suspension and components. And then if I want to make it all-wheel drive, I can. but for simplicity's sake and not having any, not having to modify anything, I'm also gonna do a bunch of different. I don't know. It's a big project. It's later down. I don't know when I'm gonna be doing it. I need to start doing it soon before I'm like 100 years old. But um, yeah, I still want to keep the RB30 in it, but it might not be all-wheel drive because I'll have the charger. I mean, I don't really have to make. I was planning on making like 1,200 horse on the RB30. I might just make like 800, make it rear-wheel drive, and just kind of call it a day. So nothing really special because a lot of people have done RB30 240Zs, but been kind of on the back burner for quite some time. So um, yeah, I do still plan on leaving it like that. You need a project manager. Um, I don't know. I pretty much work a lot. I work more for myself than I would at a job, because when you're at a job, you only have to work, 8 to 5, 7 to 4 or whatever, or don't take a lunch, 8 to 4 or whatever. So, um, I don't really see the need for one. I mean, I wouldn't mind having somebody that, that helped me out, do like piddly stuff, but I don't know what I'd do with a project manager because I'm pretty good at managing my tasks for each day. Greetings, Dave from Arizona. Here is home improvement content in your future plans for your. Hold on. Is home improvement content in your future? So I do plan on building the shop house, but I really don't want to drag. I really do not like house projects. I kind of like them, but I don't like them in terms of like making content. Um, I will make videos of the house project, but or the house shop project or wherever it may be. But I don't want my channel to turn into like a home improvement channel. So um, I do kind of want to focus my channel kind of back to how it begun, was doing stuff. So probably when I'm done with the charger, I'll do a lot more stuff and kind of back away a little bit from working on cars for maybe a few months while I have fun with the charger and stuff like that. So not just getting burnt out doing one thing, but yeah, definitely not a home improvement channel, but I will be doing the shop house. Braless is sexier. You're not wrong. Thanks for taking the time out of your day for us, Dave. You're the man. No problem. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys watching. Also, what will the video be tomorrow if there is a video, and what's for dinner tonight, Dave, or what was for dinner? So, yes, there will be a video tomorrow. Most likely it's going to be the truck video. And then Wednesday, I'll do the bumper painting video. And then Friday, I should have something else. I should be able to start speeding some stuff up now that I'm not constantly working on body work, unless I drive to New Hampshire, and then we'll see what happens then. But and then I just had Subway for dinner. I just did something easy. What did you do during your engineering career? So I pretty much was Energy Solutions, it was called ESB, which is Energy Solutions Business. Cummins has everything broken down into business units. So it was like its own new business unit, and I like led it. So, well, my boss oversaw me and kind of oversaw what I was doing, but I pretty much led the business unit, which I had to pretty much, I was of all of our techs that were in the field throughout the whole world of all of these natural gas or digester generators, and then I had to do test cell runs, and I had to do design reviews and all kinds of designing stuff. I did some stuff with GE on a locomotive that was natural gas powered or had like a generator to supplement it. Also did some stuff with the military on some projects. I don't know. I did all kinds of crazy stuff. Went to a bunch of trainings. I mean, went around here and there. I was supposed to go to the UK a few times, but then we closed a few plants down in the UK and it didn't end up happening. By the end of my career at Cummins, pretty much their stock shares were going down. So they were just starting to, like the last 2 years, the whole last 2 years, they're just like laying off people and closing factories in other countries. I think we had a factory in Germany that closed down, one in the UK that got closed down. We killed a bunch of product lines, and then my boss got laid off, and then like the next month I got laid off because my boss wasn't around too, and then I got stuffed into like this random group, and the lady that was running it was kind of an idiot, and I just, it is what it is. I'm not mad about it. I mean, it was kind of funny because when I got the job working for Cummins, I moved there with just like, I brought my car and a suitcase with like some clothes in it, and then I just rented an apartment, and like I didn't really care. I still have my house in Colorado, and when I moved back, I like made money moving back because I pretty much just I people that needed cars transported in Minnesota. I had an empty trailer. It was just one of those things. I've always been that way. But yeah, I enjoyed the job. I mean, I enjoyed the challenges that the job that I got from the job. But at the end of the day, there's just too many politics from corporations like that. You just have to deal with just people that have no business being in an engineering position. Like the one thing I don't like is they literally attach engineer to like every position now. Like you're like a reliability engineer, and all they did was like Excel forms. I mean, that's not engineering. My ex-girlfriend was a reliability engineer, and she literally every night she would come back to my apartment and ask me, I'd go through her Excel sheet and tell her like what each part did or what these parts did. We had people that were engineers that didn't even know what connecting rods were or what was inside the engine, and their pricing and stuff like that. So it's just funny. So yeah, it was cool. I got to meet a lot of cool people and do a lot of cool things, but it is what it is. I like what I'm doing now though. Let's see. Another question, but how did the third attempt roof go? It went well. It went very well. I was very happy to finally be able to set it up and be able to, see the resin completely wet it out. It was pretty stressful because you get the littlest dry spot and you have to start all over. There's no way to go and just be like, well, I just need a little bit of resin here. So I was happy that it fully wet out and everything was good. Let's see. Will you be changing the side marker lights on the Charger to the clear ones? I was actually thinking about changing them to the tinted ones. I don't know yet. Are you also going to paint the liftgate, or are you still going to make that liftgate out of Kevlar carbon? Yeah, I'm still going to make the hatch out of carbon Kevlar, but I am going to paint the back piece. So the glass goes down, and then there's like the trunk part that's like the Charger trunk piece kind of thing. That's going to be painted so it matches with the body, and then the top will match with the roof, and then the glass is going to be what separates everything. Did you ever find a company print hood emblems, or are you making them yourself still? I never found a company to do it. I'm probably just going to end up making them myself and just kind of figure it out. Cheers, Dave. What's your choice of drink? I don't really drink that much. I mean, I can't drink Fireball anymore. I won too many times, so drinking too much of that. But pretty much everything else I'm fine with. So, and I really don't drink that much. I mean, I'll have a drink here and there if I'm with friends or something. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Hey Dave, greetings from Malaysia. What's going on? I'm checking every time you post, hoping maybe it's a Mini Cooper update video. I do follow on Instagram too for update stuff. So I actually did some stuff with the Mini Cooper. So when I had the Power Stroke stuff hot tanked for the 6-liter for the van, I hot tanked a bunch of Mini Cooper stuff, and I'm going to be powder coating some of that stuff, that same silver that I'm powder coating the van stuff. So maybe in the next couple of weeks I might have a video out. We missed the hardwood floor videos. That was a really intense project, the hardwood floors, but they came out the best. After I sold the house, my realtor called me like, I don't know, 6 months later. He's like, how did you refinish those hardwood floors? He's like, I want to do it. I was like, nobody in town's going to do it like that. I was like, you might as well just get what they give you. Oh man, it's already been an hour. Is she painted yet? Everything's painted but the body. I work for GE, Open GE Capital in New Zealand. Small world. Tight. That's awesome. I work in the solar industry for 17 years, so maybe swap Wagon to electric eventually. Just kidding. Engine noises rule. Yeah, so I mean, there is the possibility that I could the Model X swap the Wagon, but I think a lot of people would be mad about it because it wouldn't make Hellcat noises, but those motors are pretty intense. I mean, it'd still be fast. Hey Dave, how's the 3000 GT going? I have one, and the stuff you've done to yours is really encouraging. So pretty much the same update as I had last time. I'm still trying to look for a driver side skirt. I found a few people that had them, and they're in other states, and nobody ever wants to ship them. So maybe one day I'll find a side skirt for that. I wish I could just buy a brand new one, but I can't. It's disappointing. Hello from Texas. Having a project manager would slow you down and would put what you think, would put what he thinks it should be. That would not be your idea. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see a need for a project manager. I helped them do the hardwood floors. When did you help me do you helped me lift the radiators, the 1,000-pound radiators out of my house. When did you help me do the hardwood floors, Ronnie? Peace out, Dave. Can't wait for the video in the morning. Good night. See you, man. Good work. Thanks. I appreciate it. So it's been over an hour. It's been an hour. And my phone hasn't ran out of power. So I'm going to end the video here. I want to edit that video and get it uploaded. But thanks for tuning in to the live stream. Have them every Sunday if you're new. And just pretty much just answer you guys' questions if you have any, because most of the time I'm not able to answer questions in the videos. I do look at them and I do give people a thumbs up and answer some of them, but it's just too hard to answer them all. So Sunday Q&As really is the best way to interact with my followers. So I appreciate you guys watching the videos. Be a video out tomorrow, and see you guys next time.